Greetings everyone, here's Lodric again, and this is a game War in the Pacific Advanced Edition. This is my PBEM match against KilRoy. He is the commander of the Allied forces, and for me it is the Empire of Japan. This is scenario 1 on the game version 27, so the extended map. And today is the next opportunity to have a very big carrier battle at New Caledonian. My own carriers are northwest of Comarc, and KilRoy was northeast of Comarc. You see, first he's an American submarine at Comarc, maybe placing some more mines, not so sure, but nothing happens. Ships are sinking, very likely in the Marshall Islands. Many tankers are burning there. My Navy bombers was able to hit the tankers there in port, full of fuel, at least partially. And these ships are simply burning down. There's still some submarines around Midway, and here is Yorktown. Whoa! I was waiting for this, and finally I can create one hit on Yorktown. 6 torpedoes, but only one hit, but still one hit is to slow down the carrier. This is more or less, I think, the payback, because my fleet carrier Akagi was also hit by an American Mark 14 torpedo. Only one torpedo hit, but it was still nearly 30% flooding damage. So I had to send back Akagi for repair to Japan, and the repair time is over 2 months. So with the transfer back to Japan, the carrier is more or less out of action at least 3 months. So I tried to attack Marshall Islands again, but there's one buffalo, and this one buffalo was able to kill 2 of my airplanes. Yeah, so 1 Nell, 1 Betty. No hit on the ships, but the ships are burning, so they're still sinking at the same time. Yeah, this attack one is going on. More Bettys, so the buffalo is out of ammunition and is on the ground. 1 bomb hit 1 cargo ship. Okay. And the zeros are too late. The Dutch forces are still here, and they're not dying. Always only disabled. But the British are losing equipment. Every day a little. And the Flying Tigers, ground attack, and releasing their bombs. Okay. So no strike today so far. And my two heavy torpedo bombers, Emily's, running a torpedo one on an enemy destroyer, but no hit. My troops in Townsville are still attacks. And a small airstrike against Comac again. But no way they can penetrate. I have a local minesweeper there, more or less like a offer to strike, and then the game decide depending on how many ships are there, then they send less or more equipment. So that is really the game. Sometimes have the automatic function and they are not really working too well, especially if you know how the functions are working. So I'm not so sure how you want to handle this game functions. No. I can only say I was able to protect my ships in Comac. Nanning, hold out one more day, but fort is destroyed. Casualties are similar, but this is for me a benefit because I can get rid of the fort and I have double attack power. The Mongolian army is marching on Hami. All bombardments. Ah yeah, and I catch here the British Colombo army and force them out again. Of course, the defenders are out of supplies. They're dying. They're dead. There's nothing more. Stop me. So most important was for me the torpedo hit on Yorktown. If this creates a lot of damage, it's always depending on where the torpedo hits the ship. Good. At the end, KilRoy's losses are still there. Some more Wildcats, some more dive bombers, but I lost also two of my Betty bombers over the Marshall Islands, plus Nell bomber, so they are all twin engines, heavily. But with this ground attacks from the Flying Tigers against my Thai troops in west of China, they were losing here some Flying Tigers to ops losses, and I lost all my 3 pilots, unluckily, but can happen. There is this one ship sunk. This was, I make this attack, I don't really create a bomb hit this turn, but the ship was burning, and this is a good tanker. You can see a lot of value points because it's carry here 14,000 tons capacity. This is heavy, really heavy tanker. Good. Nanning, maybe tomorrow. My divisions are strong enough to take on. Then I have to rest them a little while at least. But more or less I don't really have here much to do in China. I control what is necessary. Taking Nanning and then maybe win here later would let me flow, or let me manage the supply flow more easily. Plus, if I can take these 2 bases, Chongqing I would simply ignore. They let the Chinese come if they really want to come out. I can maybe take here this last base and force the Flying Tigers out. I also want maybe, of course I want to take here the last bases on Cylon. But once this is all achieved, I don't really need to strike here anywhere deeper, more far away. The last operation would be here in Australia to take here this northeast area to link up with Townsville, and simply have your forward base. I'm not so sure where exactly is the border, but Rockhampton, or maybe it's latest Brisbane, somewhere here. If the Japanese take a base in this area or more source, then there's an automatic function similar to what happened in Vietnam. Then the Australian gets more reinforcements. And here in Vietnam, if the Chinese enter Vietnam, then I got also this local static troops. I'm not so sure if the Australian forces are also static. I only know there's a rule similar to Vietnam is if the Japanese come to source, the Australian getting automatic reinforcements. More the big problem or question is now I was able to link up with my carriers, so my carriers are here. I will more or less recreate them and or merge these units all in my carriers. So I have the strike power now. Plus I was able to get one torpedo hit on a carrier. I also realized that there are at least 3 carriers still, so this is 1 fleet carrier plus more. And here is also at least 2 fleet carriers, so I would say here must be at least 3 American carriers plus 1 British carrier, something like this. So this is still a lot of firepower. You can see here roughly 100 fighters and 150 and more in strike aircraft. And with my new escort fighters, I have maybe enough. I have also roughly 300 airplanes. In KilRoy I have here 150 and 100. So it's really not that I have more. I have only more equipment here around the bases. But this is all risky to use now, because if I let my torpedo bombers run without escort, and they are taking the carriers, they will all get shredded. So I can only run normally my torpedo bombers with escort, and I don't have. This is out of range more or less. I could operate my my Zeros on long range with drop tanks, but this will give very high fatigue to these pilots. And if one of this airframe gets only damaged, it's normally a lost airplane. I don't like to run my Japanese airplanes at extended range. This is nothing what really works well for the Japanese. Okay, we will see if next turn we have the battle. I'm now ready. I have everything what I can throw on the Americans here. It will not get better. In worst case, KilRoy break now and try to go to Sydney or Brisbane or Melbourne or back to Fiji, and then I run out of this opportunity. See you next time. Take care. Bye bye.